good and evil. Eve's memory distortion set the stage of the serpent's next move. The serpent said, "You will not surely die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you'll be like God, knowing good from evil." Genesis 3, 4, and 5. Finally, the enemy is just lying to her face. But the bait is not in the lie itself. It is in what the lie implicates. She considers why she is not like God. What is he withholding? Knowing good and evil just might be the answer. Without a single shred of evidence, her emotions are doing the serpent's work for him. By suggestion alone, God is judged. He's been making a fool of her innocence. Suddenly experiencing the emotion of betrayal, a very good and perfect God has been convicted of wrongdoing. Direct assaults on God's character would have called Eve's logical and factual defenses into action. Instead, the serpent took her on an emotional joyride to hell, literally. Death, hell, and the grave. Eve was feeling shame. What it is to be less than. What it is to be incompetent, incomplete, and lacking something. Shame is felt and imagined long before it is even thought. Somewhere between verses 5 and 6, an emotional wedge was placed in Eve. She looked at the tree with desire, her mind beginning to make a conscious choice. Knowledge to be like God would save her from being played the fool. Eve needed to be more, by insinuation only. The inadequacy of not having everything. Inadequacy needed a remedy. And out of her distress, a conscious choice emerged. She looked at the fruit of the tree. She saw that it was good for food, pleasing to the eye, and desirable for gaining wisdom. And so she ate of it. And then she shared it with her husband. In the privacy of her own mind, a new coping mechanism surfaced. And she would remedy the situation on her own. What is it about more knowledge that suddenly became attractive to her? Why else would she desire wisdom if not to rid herself of the accusation that she was less than? Why would the Bible tell us that she was without shame if shame was not flooding her now? Toward the end of the recorded conversation between the serpent and Eve, Adam also took and ate. They both broke the first and only law that God gave. In one instruction, the foundations of the law of Moses are evident. If Adam and Eve had remembered to love the Lord their God, they would not have sinned. If they would have loved each other and themselves, they would not have believed the persuasion of the serpent and risked murdering themselves. If they would have abstained from looking at the tree, they would not have committed theft. If they had not tried to secretly taste the fruit of the tree, nor run away to escape the view of the Lord their God, they would not have entered into partnership with the devil. Instead, their actions puffed up and accused and judged God. If they had not coveted what was God's, they would not have tasted of the unlawful fruit. Adam and Eve knew good. They did not know evil. After eating of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the two merged. They became both. We've all been made to feel less than something else. At some point in our lives, we've all judged and accused God of being less than He is. To make another less than is something socially embedded into our society as a remedy to what we are missing. Our efforts to rid ourselves of shame fail miserably. Shame succeeds only in the spread and transfer of our pain to others without diminishing any of our own anguish. The voice of shame invades the construct of our emotion long before it can even be recognized in conscious thought. We pray that you can be discerning in the days ahead. You have a mission. Look to God, not to desire. Shore up your faith. Stand firm. You are not what shame whispers you are. Desire unfulfilled is not lack. You are made in the image of God and can represent Him in a world of hurt. You were born for such a time as this.